So, welcome to Plas Newydd, guys. Plas Newydd Estate on the island of Anglesey is actually home to the Marquis of Anglesey, Lord Anglesy. And for those that don't know, probably most of you, I lived here as a child. So yes, this is my childhood playground. I think I moved here when I was about 7, left when I was 11. So yeah, a lot of history here for me, and I'm hoping to show you guys around. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But let's go and explore. I've had my coffee. Enjoyed a lovely coffee down in the cafe there at first. So now it's time for that adventure, and hopefully show you guys a few bits that maybe most people just walk past, like these trees that I'm in at the moment, 100 years old, magnificent beasts. So but yeah, we'll head down towards the house first, I think, and then we're going to explore the gardens, hopefully find a tree house, hopefully find some old docks, and there's a secret hidden boathouse on the Menai Strait that you don't really see from the top, and it actually has a tunnel that goes through to the house, which I don't think we can access, but I know it's there. Now there's lots of wildlife here, but one thing in particular looking for is this little guy, red squirrels. So they're the native squirrel of the UK. The grey squirrel, which were imported, have taken over, and a lot of these red squirrels have disappeared, so they are protected, but hopefully we'll get to see some today because they do live here on the estate. There's a little road here. If you follow that road up there, you go up into some woods, you can then turn right and you head up, and that's where we used to live. So in here, in these trees, there's a tree house somewhere, so we're going to try and find that on the way back. But to my left, here we start glimpsing the house at Plas Newydd and the Menai Straits. So these are the Menai Straits here. You cross over to Anglesey, and then the other side is the mainland. So this Marquis of Anglesey, Henry and William Paget, originally fought in the Battle of Waterloo and actually lost his leg, which I do believe we can see later on. This would have been Lord Anglesy's study. So when I lived in the area, this would have been the study that my dad came to have meetings with Lord Anglesy, sort things through with him. Look at that CD collection. What was he into? Classical music, older music, German. Who remembers these CD players and tape cassette players? So if you look closely, just over there, there's a door that's slightly open, and you wouldn't normally notice it. There's a bathroom behind there. And then if I spin around this bookcase here, I spy a keyhole. It's another secret door. So that's the inside of the house. Now we're going to go and see if we can find the little secret place underneath, which I think is down in front of me, which effectively is a little tunnel going from under the house, and it goes down to a little, I guess you'd say a dock or something like that, where when they didn't have the bridges over here, they used to use that as their means to get off the island or receive goods coming to the island and that sort of thing. So see if we can go and find that, but we'll explore some of the gardens on the way. So I believe that's where it is, but we're going to have a look. And right in the distance, don't know if you can see it, you can see the Britannia Bridge that crosses. That wouldn't have been there at the time. So there should be underneath this, going up to the house, under here, into the house, there is then a tunnel. It's quite high tide at the moment, but what we're going to be looking for is just down here. You can see the posts, and that should lead into the dock, but it's probably too high to access. So we can see the cannons on top of here. It's just little toy cannons really, but you can see these steps that go down, and I'll see if I can just anchor down and you might be able to see inside. But down in here the water is lapping up already, so you'd be able to bring a boat into there, and then either side there was an area to unload. So now we're going to head to what you can see some docks over here, and this was sort of a main dock area, and I used to fish off here as a kid. So we used to do some sea fishing into the Menai Straits. We stood at the end of the pier at midnight fishing to the moonlight. Sadly I don't think we're going to be able to access it, but you can see on the left here now coming around we've got a swimming pool, and this is a seawater swimming pool which you can see is absolutely jam-packed today. There's your swimming pool. You used to access it down the steps here, and then over there you've got your launching of boats where I used to go sea fishing. And there are some beautiful gardens here. If you ever get a chance to come out when rhododendrons are in flower, this is the place to come and see. But you can see a massive expanse over that way towards where I used to come from. Huge trees here, and I can see in the distance a tree house. But disappointingly, I was chatting to someone earlier and he said this got replaced about 10 years ago maybe. So the old tree house was just too dangerous for people to come and play, so they built a modern one here, but still where the old one was. Great memories for me to coming up here playing as a kid. No one even knew it was here. So the tree house I remember used to have a ladder going up to it rather than these lovely steps, and they were from the other side actually rather than this side, but now they've built this lovely staircase coming up to it, which I guess is a lot safer for people to explore. But when I came up here, this wasn't something for the public to come up and see. Let's get out of here. So for those that don't know, National Trust actually look after this place on behalf of the current Marquis of Anglesey, who took over from the 7th Marquis, I think it was, who I knew. But the National Trust took over in about mid-70s, about 2 years before I moved to the area. So back then it wasn't as well organised as it is now. A lot of this area I'm in, it wasn't visited by people who came and visited here. They used to come to the house, go to the formal gardens, rhododendron gardens, and that was it. Obviously you can view a lot more of it now, and they've made a lot more of the estate accessible. So I think it's really great that you can come around here, explore the estate, and it really does go on for miles. You can actually walk all the way in that direction and you'll get to a little town, a little village that I visited last year, which was called Llanfair Pwll yn Gillgoch and Drobwys Llansilgogoch. And that used to be my address. It was one of my fun little things. Before I moved here, age 7, I had to learn that Welsh town. But we called it Llanfair PG, or just Llanfair Pwll. So we didn't have to write the whole thing on an address. That would have been a little bit too much, wouldn't it? So, but yeah, it's just amazing to be back here, exploring it. It brings back so many memories for me. Probably more for me than it is for you guys. But I definitely recommend, if you're up in North Wales, up on Anglesey, come and explore this place. So there we have it, Plas Newydd on the Isle of Anglesey, home to the Marquis of Anglesey, my childhood home, and sadly no red squirrels. So we've been on the lookout for them, but I think they're hiding after yesterday's storm, which is a bit of a shame, but there we go. So we're going to depart here now. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of nostalgia for me. If you have, hit the comments below, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you on the next video. Enjoy your coffee and enjoy your adventures. Take care, bye bye.